Hello viewers, this is Wolf here with some more Monster Hunter collectible content, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Capcom Figure Builder Plus Volume 17. And this is a pack that I'm really excited to go through since I've been waiting for this one for a while because there are quite a few monsters in here that I've been waiting to have in figure form. And yeah, I think this is gonna be pretty good. You can already see my favorite monster on this on the front cover here. So I guess we'll jump into this. So this is going to be, of course, Volume 17, and of course it's going to be a pack of 6 monsters right in here. So, of course, I'm going to go through each one and give my impressions of the quality and the pose and whatnot, and everything that's presented. So, I guess we'll take a look at the first one here. So, just taking a look at the first monster, let's see what we get here. So of course we're going to get another clear piece, and right away we actually got my favorite monster, the one that I've been looking for finally. This is actually my first figure of Xenograd. So this is actually pretty awesome. So just taking a look at this. So this is looking really nice. There's quite a bit of detail on this, especially on the blue sections of Xenograd's body. You can kind of see it has a very shiny aesthetic to the blue scales here. And of course, looking onto the fur right up here, right in between the kind of golden armor sections right up here. Of course, the fur looking very rough and very disheveled here, which is kind of cool, with various little textured sections there, which is pretty interesting. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed in is right here, these little armored sections on, I guess you could say, the shoulder. These sections are normally supposed to be a lot more pronounced. You would normally see these spikes very tall and very sharp, kind of going up to the tallest point, but they're kind of held back a bit. I think it's because of how they modeled the fur here, but because of that, you don't really see too much of those spikes. They're kind of covered up a bit. But, you know, it's still a nice looking figure, despite all of that, though. Especially when you look down here, when you see more of the gold kind of coming down to the back of the body onto the tail. And then you see how just the underbody of the tail here is just completely filled with spikes here. It ends with those 2 long spikes right at the end there, and those spikes on the side, with the fur kind of covering the top portion of it there. This is a very nice looking model, especially when we look onto the face here. The face is actually looking pretty good, especially with how they modeled the little spikes, the chin spike right there. The mouth has some nice texturization, same thing with the horns just above the head. So this is a very nice looking model. Of course, I like the different shades of blue that we have. We have the very bright blues just on the front legs here, and then it kind of turns into, we have these darker blue, almost kind of greenish scales right here at the back, going down to the back legs. Kind of offset by those golden scales there. So that is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy that I finally got that Xenograd. So, on to number 2. So, the next one we have here, I think this is Shara Valda. Okay, that's cool. This is another one that I wanted because I really wanted a Shara Valda figure. This is, of course, Shara Valda's Rocky form. It would be cool if they ever get around to making a second form of Shara Valda. I think that would actually be pretty cool, because I think the second form looks better than the Rocky form. But let me get these wings out of here. So of course I will assemble all of the ones that that come with multiple parts later on, but just taking a look at Shara Valda's first form here, this is actually looking pretty cool. I like the way that the rocky textures look on this. It looks pretty real. It looks like a lot of rocks here, which is kind of cool. I like the way that there's these little blue sections here just around the head. Right here, kind of offsetting a lot of the brown that's here. And if we take a look at the wings, you can see that these wings, or whatever you really want to call them actually, they're kind of more like tendrils, rocky tendrils. I like how the blue markings here are a lot more pronounced here. You can see a lot of these, they kind of come out in the way of like blue stress cracking, which is kind of cool, especially on the main body here, looking really good. So this is honestly a really nice looking model. Of course, I'll assemble it afterward. Alright, so now on to the next one. Let's see what we got here. So this looks like acidic glavenus. So this is actually pretty cool. So let's take a look at this. I guess I might as well take the tail out as well. It's just one extra attachment part. Alright, so here, taking a look at acidic glavenus just as the camera focuses right here. I guess I'll just mount this tail in. So it should be pretty easy to mount in, just... see, yeah, it goes just like that. Alright, so pretty much just like the regular glavenus mini, this is pretty big, mainly because of the tail. So kind of has it's kind of long in terms of like compared to the other Capcom Figure Builder ones here. I really like the coloration on this because this nice, kind of almost greenish blue metallic-y color that acidic glavenus has on the body looks really nice, especially in contrast to those silver spikes on the side of the body that you can see here. Even when you look into the mouth area as well, we have this interesting goldish color right around the jaw area at the bottom and on the top, and even like the membrane around the mouth and inside the mouth has a bit of like a purplish color as well, which looks really cool. It's a nice offset that goes along with the color scheme of the main body as well. Of course, the underbody has a lot of this white color. It's very textured under here as well. And the tail is incredibly textured as well. So we have like the kind of like acidic spikes kind of forming on the end of the tail here, which actually looks super cool. I really like this. Definitely the thing that I love about this the most is definitely the color scheme on this. So I think I like this a lot more than the glavenus, like the original glavenus that I have. So pretty cool. So we've been starting this off pretty damn strong so far with Xenograd, Char-ish, Valda, and acidic glavenus. Let's see what we have in the next one. So another clear piece. So this is... oh, we have young Garuga. And this looks like regular young Garuga. Alright. So yeah, this is definitely regular young Garuga here. So just taking a look at it. I like the coloration that they have on this. It's actually pretty cool because a lot of these colors, they actually stick out quite a bit. These red spikes on the back are very vibrant. You can see that they're very noticeable, especially in contrast to the main body, which has a bit of like a kind of a dark, like a grayish blue metallic-y finish on the body here, which then kind of fades out into a bit of a purplish on the tail here, which is kind of cool. Then we have like these darker reds on the very ends of the spikes here. I think these are supposed to be like poison barbs, if I'm not mistaken, but that's actually pretty cool. I like the reds here. And then of course on these little, I don't really know what to call these, but these little parts just on the back of the head, with these nice, very bright purple colors here on that, looking really nice. The really large chin here is very nicely detailed. You can see it's very textured as well. If the camera wants to focus, you can see that we have a lot of lined sections here, which is actually kind of cool. Very detailed around the mouth area, which is nice, and of course the wings looking really cool. Looking at the like the structure here for the different parts of the skin, as well as the membrane here, looking really nice. On the underbody, kind of carrying on a bit of a shiny, kind of like a shiny vanilla-ish color here at the bottom as well. So this is really nice. I think the top portion of this I like the most just because of these shiny, almost metallic-y colors on the top. So this young Garuga looks pretty nice. So on to the next one. So we're going to be taking a look at Namiel. So this was the second one that I really wanted to get out of this pack. Definitely I was looking forward to Xenograd and Namiel. Namiel being one of my favorite newer Elder Dragons to the series. And that's interesting. I actually thought that these wings were going to be detachable, but I kind of like how they're all one piece here. So yeah, just taking a look at this. This is actually really cool. I love the pose for this too, how the wings are curving down, so it's kind of forming like a veil around Namiel, which is actually very cool. Kind of gives it like a bit of like a hidden look, like it's hiding or whatever, which is really nice. I especially love the coloration of this as well. You won't really notice this too much if you just have this thing on the ground, just because of how dark it gets in here with this kind of curved over like that. But the inside coloration of the wing is very beautiful. You can see these very bright blues on the inside of here, with these black lines just on the edge of the wing. The blue transitions into a purple and then out into an orange on the very inside of the wing. Very nice. And there's also a bit of a yellowish too on the tips of the wing in there too. It's kind of weird to get a camera angle in there, I guess, but you can kind of see it here, how there's a bit of like a yellowish tinge there right at the very ends, which is nice. And then of course on Namiel's body, I like the very bright colors here. It's very shiny too, so it kind of makes Namiel look like it's very slick, like it's covered in its own water, which is interesting here. And then of course the blue transitioning into the orange again, just by the head, and then we have these little smaller orange spikes. Very cool. The chest portion is very textured, very sharp feeling, which is nice. And then everything here with the different orange spikes, the orange portion on the front of the face, looking really nice. This is really cool. And of course on the top, you can just see that the wings almost form like a cloak on the top of it. So it's like completely black. We have some very slight bluish sections here, and a bit of a textured section on the tail right here where we have those spikes sticking up. But yeah, this is a very nice model of Namiel. Honestly, I want to see a creator's model version of Namiel. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, having a miniature of this is definitely very appreciated, and it looks good too. The quality on this is really nice, that's for sure. So now we're on to the last monster of the pack. So let's see what we have here for the final one. Alright. So the last one we have is Nightshade Palumu. Alright. So I'm actually pretty happy to have a version of Nightshade Palumu here. I've always liked Palumu's design. I think that the coloration on Nightshade is very nice. A very nice contrast to the pink of the normal one. But yeah, I really love these dark, like the black sections and these little, like, slight blue lining going throughout the fur here, as well as this little pattern here. It almost kind of reminds me of like a peacock pattern, where they have like these little kind of spade-shaped portions on the ends of the tails. That actually looks really cool. I like that. And of course, when you look at the wings here, of course, we have more of these textured sections just at the tip of the wings. We have a color transition here from the dark blue into a greenish and then out into this gray, which is nice. And then the tail, again, the tail looking very textured. If we take a look to the back here, we have more of that blue. Of course, the blue is a lot brighter here compared to on the neck fur, I guess. And then the blue, you can see it follows its way all the way down to the end of the tail. It's kind of like a beaver tail kind of aesthetic, which is interesting. But yeah, I do like how these blues are very pronounced here. It looks very nice. And of course, Palumu's face, you can see it has a bit of, it's kind of like a bluish gray that it has there, which is interesting. The ears kind of transition into a bit of a pinkish there, which is kind of cool. But yeah, Nightshade Palumu, this is nice. And yeah, it's a very cute looking model as well. But yeah, that is all of the, these are all of the figures that come with this. So I'm going to assemble these all up on their stands and then give my final impressions of these. Alright, so here we have all of the monsters here in the Volume 17 pack assembled. So just taking a look at them, I guess we'll start with Shara Ishvalda first. So now with those wings in, this looks incredible. Just taking a look at Shara Ishvalda's model. Again, like I was mentioning earlier with these little tendrils with the blue kind of stress cracking on the claws. With it posed like this looks crazy because of like how large these tendrils are. You can kind of see that he's kind of hiding back behind them a little bit. So these tendrils are definitely going to be very dominant from the front and from the sides as well. So it's going to hide the face a little bit. But yeah, it definitely gives you like a good impression of like how massive this thing is. I really want to see like a Form 2 version of Shara Ishvalda become a figure in the future. I think that would be really cool, especially to go along with this. But this looks really good. I love the blend between the blues and the rocky grays that we have there. And then now taking a look at Namiel here. Not really too much to really talk about. I already talked about this a lot already, but yeah, just having this down on the floor or whatever, or in your display area, you can definitely see that these wings are definitely going to hide Namiel quite a bit. I do kind of like the pose though, just because right here Namiel's face is kind of looking through this little opening of the wings here, which is kind of cool. It really gives it like that feeling that this thing is like it's stalking you, like it's spying on you or something like that, which I think is kind of cool. And yeah, like the shadows that kind of get casted on the inside really adds a bit of like an ominous feeling to this, so I really like that. So that's pretty cool. Of course, you know, Nightshade Palumu up on the stand has a bit of like an extension part to keep it suspended, which is cool. Works well with the animation here with the tail flipped forward, its neck completely puffed out so that it can float. So that's nice. And Garuga here is actually up on an extension piece here. It's actually not sitting directly on the stand, mainly because of its pose. It wouldn't really be able to do that properly, I guess. But yeah, this looks pretty cool for the little action pose that it's in. And then, yeah, the clear piece that we get is of Xenograd. And this is really cool because I love the coloration on this translucent piece. It's a very beautiful, very bright blue for Xenograd here. And the thing that I like about this is that unlike a lot of the other translucent pieces, like figures that come along with these packs, the mounting points for the arms and the tail, they all actually sit in pretty tightly. So, you know, you can move this around and you don't have to really worry about the legs or the different joints popping out, which is really good. So, you know, I have a translucent Xenograd to go along with my other Xenograd. It's pretty sturdy, which is nice. And yeah, you know, that's super cool. So yeah, this is definitely the collection here. If I were to go on to my top 3, I would definitely say Xenograd, Namiel, and Shara Ishvalda. I definitely like these 3 out of the rest of them. Glavenus would be a close one just because I love the coloration and the design of the tail. I also just like the size of it too. You can see the tail is just sticking so far away from the base. But I already have a regular Glavenus like this. So, you know, there's not really too much in the way of originality here. These are 3 completely new models here. There hasn't been any figure builder version of a Namiel until now. Same thing with Shara Ishvalda. And this is really the only other version of Xenograd that you can get right now. So yeah, these are honestly really cool, and I'm pretty glad that I have these now. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. There's definitely going to be a lot more figure reviews and unboxings coming in the future, especially more Monster Hunter stuff. There's another figure builder pack coming, which is pack 18, which that one I'm super excited for because of one particular monster that's coming with it. But yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned for that. But until then, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you guys have a good night or good day depending on where you are. And I will see you all later.